let me just read for you what a student said. A student from Utumishi Girls Academy, Gilgil, Nakuru County, narrated the horror of a night inferno at the school's dormitory. She said Wednesday was a holiday. The learners went to the dormitory earlier and usually observe the weekend timetable. We went to sleep at 9 p.m. after refreshing ourselves. However, at around midnight, someone shouted for everyone to leave their cubes because the dormitory was on fire. Confused, the hundreds of students did not know what to do. Drills, remember the drill conversation where they're supposed to run to? They did not know what to do. While some scampered for safety, others screamed for help, and others suffocated. By the time she left her bed, the fire had covered the entire cube. By the time I was leaving the bed, the fire had covered the hallway of Cube 6 and Cube 7, and we could not get to the door. Forced to return to the safer side of the cube, the student said some started suffocating as smoke choked them. She said, amid the confusion and trauma, they were forced to open the window and jump. Our cubes were in the first floor, but we had no option but to jump. When I hit the ground, I could not feel my hands and legs. She said she felt her leg and hand break, then lost consciousness. The student only regained consciousness at St. Joseph Hospital in Gilgil, where she was undergoing treatment. I saw doctors at the hospital who did first aid to me. They said I had fractures in my hand and injured my head. We've talked about drills. We've talked about exit and entryways. If these children had been taken through these processes, whenever someone made noise that there was fire, they would have known exactly where to go and what to do. We have staircases, but do we have exit staircases from outside whenever there is fire? Because in such a case, whenever there is fire, these kids know we come through this way. This is the way we always go inside. They don't know about the other route. They don't know if there is staircases from outside that would enable them leave. The easiest way for this girl was to jump from the first floor. Yet this building we saw was a 3-story building. So what happened to those who jumped from the 2nd story? From the 3rd story? These are kids. And as parents, this is a child who's narrating exactly what happened. What is our responsibility in ensuring that this doesn't happen? It is about time as parents as well, we stop saying, nimepeleka mtoto shule aende kusoma. Aende kusoma wapi? In what conditions? In what surrounding? Parents must be part and parcel of all these drills. They must be part and parcel of designing these dormitories where their children will be in. Communities around that school should be able to come in and make decisions for children from within and without. Because schools are in communities. It is community members who ran with ladders to save those children.
That is it.
They should have an input in buildings being set up for children of the Republic. It can't be that it is someone who's coming in with a CDF and an architecture without involving the members on where the children will be. It cannot be. It can't be.
Shut it down. This is what I'm saying. If you, because what you've said, I don't know whether it's greed. You don't want to spend a little more extra money to make sure that standards are kept, or that you do what you need to do. The people sleeping on mattresses that are wafer thin, kinds of things that are essentially those ones that are just raw, dry tinder for fire. These are the things that we are talking about. Is there a certain kind of mattress that you must have in rooms? Should you have fire-resistant material that is used to make beds? Yes, it's expensive. It's expensive. But you know what? So are the lives of 16 girls who will never see their family again.
No.
You can't compare the value on life to a little bit more in terms of shillings that you're going to spend on a mattress that's supposed to be compliant for certain safety standards. Or don't put the grills on the window, for crying out loud. Yeah. Use another material if you want to secure the thing.
What kind of paint are we having on our walls? That is... It is highly combustible, highly inflammable.
This is what we're talking about.
What kind of wood are we using? Is it engineered wood that whenever there is fire, it can withstand that? What kind of materials are we putting in there for us to say this building is safe? What does the code say? Did we follow the code?
We have to get to the point whereby you can take this sensationalism and call it what you want. But if you're not radical in the details, then absolutely then you're going to go with that story that's on page 2 of the Standard today, and you're going to say, then be ready for more. Be ready for more destruction. Be ready for more death if we are not going to insist that certain levels are kept and that certain standards are established and then maintained. And that if people will not do their job, then that question that we ask, should all of these non-compliant institutions and schools be shut down? Yes.
Yes.
Shut it down. Shut it down, and somebody has to take this thing by the reins. If you're not going to take it by the reins, that's when we're going to have people landing with helicopters in Gilgil.
Yeah.
And people are going to come by and now start crying and say, oh, you had an opportunity, we'll meet and we'll form a task force to find out what happened. If you don't do what task forces have told you to do in 1994, 2001, 2004, 2008, 2016, if you don't do what they have told you to do, you will bury more. It sounds morbid, but that's the truth. You have to be right.